Genius Kids. Cultivating love for learning.
Chapter 3. Fiber to Cloth. Knowledge acquisition. Fibers are used to make fabrics. Cotton, jute, coir, flax and hemp are the plant fibers. Wool and silk are animal fibers. Fibers are spun to form yarn and yarn, in turn, is knit or weaved to make fabric. Discussion. Jack. Oh no, I have already learned this chapter in class 6th, then why should I go again through this? Susie. Jack, you need not for sure, but I will read it because it's about fibers from animals that I haven't read before. Jack. Then I will also understand and learn this chapter. Susie. Yes, you are on the right track now, come on. Animals' fibers, wool and silk. Wool. Type of hair of some animals, especially of sheep. Sheep and some other animals have a coat of wool over them so as to retain heat in their body in order to protect them from cold climatic conditions. Basically, sheep is the main source of wool, but some other animals like yak, Angora goats, camels, alpaca and Angora rabbits are also reared for wool. Fleece is the name given to hairy skin of sheep. It is composed of two types of fibers. A. Kemp or beard hair, rough coarse outer hair. B. Wool, soft inner hair close to the skin. Properties of wool. It is wrinkle-free. Fiber with high tensile strength. It is elastic. It has power to absorb moisture. Sources of wool. Animal. Breeds. Country. 1. Sheep. Merino. Gaddi. Lohi. Rampur. Busher. Nali. Bakharwal. Marwadi. Patanwadi. India. 2. Goat. Kashmiri. Gaddi. Chamba. Angora. Fiber from Angora. Goat is mohair. India. 3. Camel. Backtrain camel. Alpace. Llama. Lustrous and fine wool. Siberia. Mongolia and China. South America. 4. Rabbit Angora. Jammu and Kashmir. India. 5. Yak. Ladakh and Tibet. Sheep farming and breeding. Definition. Rearing and domestication of sheep for their wool, meat and hides is called sheep farming. Often you have seen a group of sheep on a hilly region. What would you call them? A group of sheep, what else? No, Jack, it is a hard. But Jack, do you know a sheep has a lifespan of only 10 to 12 years? But Susie, a new sheep or a goat can be produced only in 5 months. Yes, their gestation period is of only 5 months. Critical thinking. Fitness of wool fiber is determined by number of crimps over it. Crimps ideally should be 40 per centimeter. Merino sheep wool is of very high quality. It is the finest wool. 12 to 15 kilograms wool is produced by male camel and 7 to 8 kilograms wool is produced by female camel annually. Sheep breeding. Selective sheep breeding is a technique where the sheep with desirable characters are selected and bred. Single litter can produce 1-3 young ones. Processing of wool to fabric. The major steps involved to process wool from sheep to fabric are shearing, cleaning and scouring, grading and sorting, carding, spinning, weaving and finishing. 1. Shearing. It is the process of removal of fleece from sheep's body. A person who does shearing is a shearer. Shearing can be done manually or with the help of a machine. Manual method of shearing involves the use of clippers or scissors. Prior to shearing, animals are made to take bath. 2. Cleaning and scouring. Washing of raw sheared wool with detergent or alkali to remove dust, dirt and grease is called scouring. It can be done either in a tank or by a machine. The wool is then passed through rollers called carding machines for the purpose of straightening it. The process of making the woolen fibers straight is called carding. The continuous straightened woolen fibers are called web. 3. Sorting and grading. Wool is sorted into different sections on the basis of its quality. Quality depends on the length, texture, color, strength, and thickness of wool. All these factors are judged by breeders of sheep. 4. Carding. Under this process, fibers are passed through a series of metal teeth that straighten and blend then into slivers. It also removes residual dust and matter left in the fibers. Critical thinking. Today, United States is the largest consumer of woolen fabrics while Australia is the leading supplier. 5. Combing. Comb, as the name implies, is the alignment of hairs or fibers in the case of wool. Methods can be used for fabric processing. Process of making woolen fabric. Silk. It is a very costly fabric with a shiny luster. It is heat resistant, so suitable for both winters and summers. It is produced by mulberry silk moth. 6. Making yarn or spinning. Fiber is then twisted to form yarn. 7. Weaving or knitting or crocheting. Depending on the kind of yarn, either of the cocoon called bombyx mori. Sericulture is the technique of rearing silkworms for obtaining silk from them. Though bombyx mori is the chief producer of silk, some other closely related moths can also be utilized for silk production. Silkworm life cycle. Female silkworm is bigger in size as compared to the male silkworm. It lays down its eggs in groups. Eggs develop to form larvae or caterpillars. Larva eats mulberry leaves for a continuous period of 20 to 30 days and changes its skin 4 times. The process of old skin removal is called molting. Then it spins a cocoon around its body and turns itself into pupa inside the cocoon. Development of cocoon takes 3 days. Cocoon on exposure to air forms silk. The pupa comes out of cocoon as silk moth or adult moth. In case of commercial cultivation of silk, the adult moth is killed inside the cocoon only, in order to utilize silk cocoon for silk rearing. Critical thinking. 1 kilogram of silk is spun from 5,500 silkworms. Life cycle in nature generally occurs only once in a year. Silk production. Silk is an animal fiber with protein called fibroin and gum called sericin. Sericin, as the name suggests, sticks the silk filaments made up of protein. Process. Silk moth lays eggs on mulberry leaf. Eggs hatch and caterpillars come out. They eat mulberry leaves for 20 to 30 days. After 25 days, caterpillars are ready to spin cocoon. Silk is produced by moth's head and is pulled out through tiny openings called spinnerets in liquid form. Cocoon solidifies. Cocoon is put into hot water to kill the worm and loosen the fiber. This silk here is raw silk. Raw silk threads are dried, prepared into long, continuous strong threads and reeled, followed by spinning and weaving. Types of silk. In India, 5 major types of silk are found. These are obtained from different species of silkworms which, in turn, feed on different plants. The 5 varieties of silk are: 1. Mulberry silk. It is the supermost quality of silk. The silkworms producing this silk are completely domesticated and reared indoors. These silkworms feed on mulberry leaves only. Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Jammu and Kashmir are the major mulberry silk producing states in the country. 2. Tussar silk. Tussar silk is inferior in quality to mulberry. It has an underlying tone of copper color. The silkworms producing this silk mainly feed on plants Sal and Arjun. It is mainly produced in the states of Jharkhand, Orissa, Maharashtra, West Bengal and Andhra Pradesh. 3. Oak Tussar. It is the finer variety of tussar silk. The silkworm producing this silk feeds on oak plant mainly. Major states producing this variety of silk are Manipur, Himachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya and Jammu and Kashmir. 4. Eri silk. It is also called Endi or Erondi silk. This creamy white colored silk is less shining as compared to other varieties. It is obtained from domesticated silkworms which mainly feed on castor leaves. Major Eri silk producing states are Assam, Bihar, West Bengal and Orissa. 5. Magha silk. This silk is golden yellow in color and is mainly produced in Assam. It is obtained from semi-domesticated silkworms which feed on aromatic leaves of sam and solo plants. Critical thinking. China is the largest producer of silk in the world and India is the second largest producer. Continuous review. Fibers are woven to cloth. There are 2 types of animal fibers, wool and silk. Wool can be obtained from different breeds of sheep, goat, camel and rabbit. Silk is produced from silkworms which are reared and feed on different plants.
Like, share and subscribe.